Draft Bros.
What's crackalackin'? Welcome back to Draft Bros. We are back at it doing a top 25 for college football. Actually, some of my favorite content that we do. Really is.
I know.
I love talking the college game, man. I really, really do. Alex, you talk a little bit, man.
Yeah, let them know where to find me like we do on your show.
Yeah, I know,
yes.
right?
Hello, people. We're back. Scheduling conflicts is not always the best thing in the world, but let's get right into this. Let's have some fun. Y'all know the situation as it is. Drafting 1 to 25, back and forth. I'm going to let you start out because otherwise...
You are. But before we get into this, thumbs up. Remember, thumbs up, people. All right, I'm going to be basic. I'm going to go Georgia. They were fine against UAB. People got worried that UAB was creeping back into it. This team took their foot off the pedal after the first quarter. That nothing to worry about. They had a good win against South Carolina the previous week where the offense didn't look good in the first half. It was a rainy game, but they came out, got things done. The defense is fierce. It's ferocious. They currently look like the best team in the SEC, in my opinion.
That's fair. I still don't fully trust them to win the big game. To be fair, we haven't really
in the SEC though.
That is an excellent question because I do not have an SEC team listed until Georgia, and I have Georgia at 10. So, yeah, I don't really trust anybody at this moment. It's just weird to say the SEC is unreliable. So,
I think it's just like teams have now inched closer to one another.
So technically, Texas, who will be an SEC team, I have more faith in. But
well, they did beat Alabama, so
they did. Anywho, my number one team still going to be Florida State. So our number two.
Oh,
I think that receiving core wise, we knew about this kind of from the beginning. We thought what Keon Coleman could be was special. He's turned out to be special. Johnny Wilson, still get on the jugs machine, my guy. But again, they have stars everywhere. And they just know what they're going to be doing. So I firmly believe that this team could challenge any team in the country.
Yeah. I mean, now back-to-back close games that they've been able to close. And it is against ACC teams. Like, I know it's hard to forget that team like blew out LSU in the second half. But don't forget that. This is a good Florida State team.
This is.
All right. I'm going basic again. I'm going with Michigan. This might be a little contrary to the point here, but good teams win, great teams cover. They have yet to cover this year, and I've been reaping the benefits, the rewards. But this is a team, once they get out, they're like, you know what? Let's take the foot off the pedal. Again, similar to Georgia in that regard. J.J. McCarthy's looked good for 3 of those 4 games. It was a little up and down against Bowling Green, but they just have too much talent. This is a talent-rich team.
This is true. Very true. And speaking of covering, if you guys want to play and place your own bets, feel free to go to our both sponsors, Underdog. You can either use code BROSHMO or Hail Mary, depending if you want to help out this other guy versus a college kid. So
This other
guy. But yes, code BROSHMO or Hail Mary if you want to get a matchup to $100. Regardless, number 4 to me is USC still. Caleb is operating at peak capacity. They're continuing to bring in young recruits and make the most of them. You know, it doesn't matter. Even if they're down, I still trust Caleb Williams to have the poise and composure to be able to kick some ass.
Yeah. I mean, I think they came out a little rusty this week, and Arizona State's not nearly as bad as people think, but even on cruise control, Caleb Williams put up 5 touchdowns. So
yeah. ASU again, really good school. Johnny Wilson, who is one of the star receivers there at Florida State, originally was at ASU. Tons of guys go to ASU because it's a talented school.
Yeah. All right, so I guess the number 5 here for me is gonna be Ohio State. Good win in South Bend against Notre Dame. Kyle McCord kind of matured in that game right before our eyes. Am I saying he's the best thing since sliced bread? No, but I think this team, again, a team with a lot of talent. They're very talent rich, especially on that defense. And that defense won them that game. The offense was able to get hot late, I say hot, and they put up 17 points, but
Yeah.
regardless, you know what I'm saying. Like, this is a team with a ton of playmakers. This is a squad. The defense is just studded. So Ohio State, they're still up there for me.
Yeah, for me, Ohio State is still at that 12th overall position just because.
Who are all these teams you have in your top 10? They're all Pac-12.
Yeah. A team I actually had above USC, but for feasible reasons, they probably wouldn't be right next to Michigan State, is Penn State, my next team. So I have them at my third spot ahead of USC, but again, for feasibility reasons, also because I wanted to talk about Caleb Williams, going to put him up there. The offensive lines continue to improve. Olu Fashanu looks like an absolute beast, but that's for our risers and fallers video. And Drew Alar looking, he's fitting more and more every single week. So good for him. Defense looks great as well.
I got a question for you. Do you know what Steve Sarkisian's favorite song is?
What is it?
I'm bringing Texas back.
All right.
Texas is back for the foreseeable future as soon as I find this nifty little Longhorn. They were slow against Wyoming a week ago. They just lambasted Baylor this past week, probably potentially cost David Aranda his job. But, hey, this offense, when it's clicking, man, they were one of the most deadly deep ball teams in the nation. Yes. The defense is playing pretty darn well. So, I think Texas is your Big 12 winner. Oklahoma might have something to say about that, but we'll see.
Texas is my number 6 school, so we have them 7 here. Definitely agree with the placement. But my number 5 team in our number 8 is going to be Oregon. So fully believe in Bo Nix. I actually have him above Quinn Ewers in my rankings, but apparently that's not too crazy. Do we not have a University of Oregon logo?
No, it's just not the O.
Oh, it's the damn duck.
Don't worry about it. I'll eventually find it, okay? You just keep talking.
Duck. All right.
Keep talking and looking pretty.
Yes, sir. Okay, so Oregon just is super studded out. Troy Franklin's proving to be an extremely reliable target. The offensive line with the Johnny Cornelius coming in has been pretty damn good as well. Bucky Irving, absolute beast. And then they have guys on the defensive side. Fortunately, not Braden Swinson. I forget where he actually ended up.
He's LSU now.
He's LSU now because he lit up the stat sheet this past week. But you still have a ton of really, really impactful players. It's a good team.
Yeah, I guess we might as well just stay in the Pac-12. I'm going to go with Washington.
Yeah. That's my next team.
Yeah, this offense is scary. It's terrifying. Yeah. It really, really is. Like Michael Penix, 3 dangerous wide receivers. The defense ain't too shabby either. Yeah. Oh, golly, man. Sign me up, man. Like the Pac-12, they're not going to get a playoff contender this year with the 14 playoff because the Pac-12 is going to kill each other.
They're going to kill each other.
They're going to kill each other.
Yeah. If somehow, some way, one of these teams finds a way to squeeze out a victory, like in each one of those, it's going to be a close victory, to be fair. That might give them enough reason to be put in the playoff, but there's no guarantee.
I think at best, we might have a 1-loss team in the Pac-12, but I could see a lot of 2-loss teams.
I can see that. I can. My number 8 team and our number 10 is a team that just lost to Ohio State, Notre Dame.
I'm glad. That would have been my next team too.
Yeah, Notre Dame, they got finally punched in the mouth. They're having a really, really solid start. Audric Estime, my big issue with him was his acceleration to the line of scrimmage took way too long. You can't do that versus Ohio State. It proved itself. He didn't do absolutely anything in the second half. And, it's just a way to wake up a sleeping giant because they have a ton of talent everywhere. Lots of veteran talent too.
Yeah, Estime, I think just watching the game, I feel like he's just kind of a downhill guy.
He doesn't hit the ground running, though. Like, that's the thing. He goes to the line of scrimmage in an extremely long period of time, and you have a good offensive line. It works until you face Tylee Williams,
I felt like he missed a lot of holes on the outside in that game against Ohio State, too. So I feel like it's like high speed. Well, yeah, I mean, he's a big back.
He's a big back.
But I think if you're looking for that, like that short yardage goal line, or if you have one of these just kind of like downhill inside zone, maybe run schemes, just beautiful.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
All right. I'm actually going to go with Oklahoma with this next one.
Okay.
They,
Good team.
dude, Venables has this team playing defense. Like the offense they can move the football. They weren't able to really kind of like score in the red zone against Cincinnati, who just lost in OT to Miami, Ohio, by the way. Oof. But like they're capable of putting a lot of points. They just sometimes don't. But the one consistent with this squad is how good that freaking defense is in year 2 of Venables, man. Just a very good defensive mind among the college ranks.
Absolutely. It's good to see him actually bounce back, because last year we were like, what the hell is going on with OU? So it's good to see. Obviously, there are injuries and shit, but good to see that they're starting to ascend back to where they should be. But my number 9 team, our number 12, is going to be Utah. They just perform with or without, that's Houston, with or without so their primary stars. I know. It's like, that's Houston.
Houston ain't making it. I'll just say that.
Houston ain't making shit. But no, with or without their starters, they're still extremely competent. They have top-tier edge rushers. They just know how to maximize the quality of their players, which isn't necessarily 5-star guys. So I trust a team that's reliably playing the Moneyball game and playing it well.
Oh, dude, you say with or without their stars. They've been without Cam Rising and Brant Kuthi all 4 games.
They're kicking ass, too.
Might be the best defense in college football.
Yeah, per division, per conference for sure.
I'm going to throw Alabama here. The defense is still pretty solid. Listen, Jalen Milroe, you're going to live or die by his big-time throws or his mistakes. That's just what it's going to be, but just how athletically gifted he is, how big of an arm he has, you're always kind of alive in games. And I feel like they kind of learned that this week against Ole Miss. So, like, he deserves to be the starter. If we're talking about, like, draft watch, this guy ain't no way he should come out, and I don't believe he will. But a guy that definitely, I think, I don't want to say first rounder in, like, 2025, but definitely be in the conversation just because of his traits. Again, there's a lot to work on, like from a processor. The offensive lines let him down, and I feel like he's starting to get that Carson Wentz, like, even when pressure's not abundant, he's like, I got to get out of Dodge. So, like, give it another year with him.
Yeah. I'm curious to see about in the future, because we got, like, Drew Allar coming out, probably Milroe going to be coming out next year, not this year. And after all the quarterbacks that come out this year, including Shedeur Sanders potentially coming out next year too, like, is there going to be that big of a need for a quarterback? Like, we're talking about a lot of starter quality quarterbacks coming out in this class alone.
I mean, like, maybe a third of those guys succeed. Like, there's going to be a lot of guys.
Even a third, that's still going to be 3 or 4 teams.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a revolving door. You're going to have people age out of the position.
Oh yeah, but that's happening slower and slower too. It's an intriguing thing to think about. It's like, is there going to be legitimate first round demand for the quarterbacks, because we're seeing a lot more starting to
There's always going to be teams that'll look at their quarterback position and be like, we could probably upgrade from that. Because, I mean, you're looking at teams with, like, Derek Carr, Jimmy G, and such.
Yeah. Which then they're going to possibly replace them this year. Well, Aiden O'Connell's there, but regardless.
True, even Justin Fields at this point.
Oh, well, that's because Caleb Williams is coming to replace him. But my next team yeah, I know. Ridiculous. Is going to be Tennessee. So I know they lost pretty poorly to the Gators.
Boy, did they.
But honestly, there were quite a few saving graces within that game. Obviously, a couple monstrous touchdown throws by Milton. Like, he has the ability there, and he bounced back this week, had a pretty solid week. So, I personally believe in him. I believe in the team. Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, okay.
Absolutely. I watched every throw.
I'm still curious, how much do you believe him as a prospect?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the guy has a cannon of an arm, can place it on the money. Like, he just needs to be reliably consistent with his mechanics. And honestly, it's not his fault. His offensive line's been absolute butt cheeks here and there. And they didn't even have Squirrel White, I don't believe, for the second half of that game.
See, prior to this video, I remember, like, saying, man, a lot of these guys that I liked, their accuracy just isn't where it needs to be.
His accuracy's on point.
It's not.
It is. It is. It's his mechanics that are off, man. He's putting it right into a 2-inch window box. The problem that he has is that his foot, like he accidentally steps too far forward, and then that causes his arm to go off. There's another video that we could talk about quarterback mechanics in, but you have the next.
This ain't about draft prospects.
This ain't about draft prospects.
Oh yeah, it's my team now, huh?
Yep.
Well, you put Tennessee. I'm gonna put LSU.
Yeah.
LSU is a fierce squad, man. Jaden Daniels, he has really developed into a solid starter at the college level, like high end, like top level. When it comes to what he is as a prospect, I got ifs and maybes about him, but I was like that with DTR, and so I'm trying to tiptoe around Jaden Daniels right now. But offensively, man, this squad, when they want to pour it on, like they were slow out of the gates against Arkansas, but golly, they started pouring it on. Brian Thomas, Malik Neighbors are a fabulous receiving duo. Ridiculous. And the defense is solid. Actually, probably won them the game near the end there. Mm-hmm. So LSU, man, I think they're kind of my favorites, not to win the SEC, but to be going against Georgia. I think they're the second. Higher. I think they're the second best team currently. And I know I put Alabama higher. I'm going with the wait and see approach. I'm just saying. Okay. I'm just telling you what I'm feeling.
All right. So you're saying they're a close 3 at the moment, and you think they could be a 2?
Yes.
Okay. Got it. My next team is my number 14, a team right in front of LSU. That is Washington State University. Hey. They have been locked down. Their offense has been explosive. Cam Ward is now stepping up into the pocket rather than scrambling around like a chicken with its head cut off. And the offensive line's performing well. Honestly, they were having a huge crutch on Nakia Watson last year as their running back, and he's been performing actually pretty poorly this year, and they're still performing very, very well. I forget what the kid's name, but he made 2 unbelievable spectacular catches. Josh Kelly, yeah.
Because he's going to make my stock report
he's making
video this week. Legit, if you're looking for film on him, you have to go back to like Fresno State 2021. Yeah.
So there's just very, very limited tape for us to have seen on him. But I'll be talking to Brennan Jackson. Yeah, I'll be talking to his buddy Brennan Jackson, teammate edge rusher from Washington State tomorrow. So we'll be getting some cool highlights about that.
I'm really excited about that offense with Washington State, man. I really, really am.
The defense is the crazy part. Shaw Smith-Wade, Brennan Jackson, RJ Stone, like they have some absolute monsters, and they're able to stop the run up pretty good.
Jaden Hicks
is
like my hottest riser right now.
He's a freaking beast.
Regardless of position. I'm just like, I didn't realize he was that good. Like he took such a step up. Yeah,
he's a beast.
All right, my team here at 17, it's going to be Duke. Watch out for Duke, man. They have I know really the only game that they've had, so to speak, is against Clemson. They have won all 4 of their games by 20 points or more. Yeah. They're rolling through squads. This is a well-balanced attack, whether it's on the ground or through the air. And let's not pretend like Duke has a ton of like top-level talent. They don't. But Riley Leonard's getting it done, dude. He really, really is. His defense is it's actually a veteran defense. They used the transfer portal pretty darn well this past off season, bringing in like Miles Jones and Al Blades to you, baby, to help out in the secondary. And I think this is probably the second best team in the ACC currently.
Okay. Well, I'm going to stick in the ACC. And somehow I'm supporting Sam Howell, and you're supporting Riley Leonard. But
you said Sam Howell, by the way.
Lamau. I'm also supporting Sam Howell, but supporting Drake May.
Sam Howell 2.0.
Same thing.
Sam Howell looked so good yesterday too.
That O-line is complete crap. I feel so bad. Like that. I give Sam one huge mulligan, and that's because of how quick that pressure got in. But he looked really bad.
Be so bad if his bad plays weren't as cataclysmic as they actually are.
Atrocious. Yeah.
He has like 2 or 3 pick sixes this season.
It's just it is pretty sad. And then like AJ Epineza, bro, who is 6 or 7 inches shorter, tries to lob it over him. I'm like, come on, man, you're not gonna win.
Yoink.
Yeah. But actually, I just dropped my mock draft earlier today. Did you do yours yet?
Yeah, mine just premiered.
Okay. So did
like
you
an
have
hour
the
ago.
Vikings at 2, like that draft order?
I took it from Tankathon. I think I had the Vikings at 3.
Okay. What did you give the Vikings then? Did you give him Drake May?
I did.
So you know my criticism of Drake May. That is one of the locations that I think he'd be absolutely phenomenal in. I put him as my QB2 hands down in that situation. Just great O-line, amazing weapons. They match his abilities perfectly.
The O-line's working through some stuff. They've been hurt this year.
Yes. The names, you scout the names, they're incredible. There's something going on. They need some more cohesion and health. So, it's built for him to do a really good job.
Yeah.
So just got to say that because I'm notorious as a hater. And I'm not. It's just a fit.
Yeah, I think it's a good fit too. Yeah, I mean, dude, North Carolina, they just had a few close, like not even necessarily close calls, but I felt like they should have won this. Like, what was it against Minnesota this past week?
Yeah.
No, Pittsburgh. But this back-to-back weeks where it's like, they haven't looked nearly as solid since the opener against South Carolina.
Well, that's just because they're not generating 10 pressures per like Cayman Rucker snap. And
dude, I know, right? Where'd this guy come from?
I studied him. He's on it. Like, no disrespect to the man. I didn't really see NFL.
Okay, I haven't watched anything.
It just looked like the QBs were rolling
Carolina.
into him. Like the QBs were rolling into him more than anything.
Oh, that must be nice, dude. Just hitting the jackpot like that.
I know. I was like, let's go.
All right, we're gonna stay in the ACC, baby. We're gonna talk about my boy Tyler Van Dyke. Resurrection. He's back.
Let's go.
He's back. I knew he was good. All last year, I got crap. And look at him now, man, making me proud. They've been blowing out teams that they're supposed to be blowing out. They won by 2 touchdowns on Texas A&M. Like, this team is doing well. Now, I'm kind of scared what happens once conference play starts. Yep. But as a Miami fan, I'm feeling good. I'm living large. Leonard Taylor just had his biggest game of the year. This squad with a ton of talent. The offensive line's finally good. Mm-hmm. I'm just happy, man. I'm so happy.
It's a good day.
It's a good
For
day.
those of y'all who don't know, I'm also a Hurricanes fan. That was like my favorite school. I told you that, right?
No.
Yeah, that's like my number 1 school in the country. Technically, I'm an Ohio State fan because I have alum in my family from there.
How do I not know this, Alex?
I don't know, dude. I remember
We've been doing
I got
this for like 2 years.
I know. I got accepted by the U and was very excited to go to find out they gave me $374 for 4 years. And I'm like, not paying that.
They gotta make that money, man.
Yeah, I'm like,
have you seen their attendance at stadiums?
Oh my god,
they gotta make it back on tuition.
Honestly, though, like I'm probably thinking about going there potentially for a grad school if they have the right program for me. Like I want to go to Miami so badly. Regardless, yes, I am a Hurricanes fan because Sean Taylor's my favorite player of all time. Also, don't know if I told you that either.
No,
but,
didn't know that.
Yeah, that's why I'm a Miami Hurricanes fan. So there you go. My next team, I'm gonna give a shout out to Kansas.
Yes.
So, Devin Neal. Super fun back. Obviously, Jalen Daniels. Is it Jalen? It's Jalon.
It's like Jalon. Jalon.
Jalon Daniels. He's super electric as well. That defense, they have another Kobe Bryant or something, right?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, they got another one.
He's pretty darn good too.
He's good too. He decked the hell out of. I think they were playing BYU this past week. He decked the hell out of him on the first play.
This dude is like 172.
I know. It's just like Devon that's Devon A-Chain or A-Chan, excuse me.
A-Chain. Is it A-Chan?
Yeah. Did you see that? They come out with it today. He's like, I don't want to be called A-Chain. I want to be called A-Chan. And I'm like, you just lost me there, buddy. It's like, listen, I had you above Jameer.
I can't say nothing. If he's gonna run like that for my Dolphins, he could change his name to
he's a chain.
Taylor Swift.
Swifties
was the only notable thing about the Kansas City Chicago game.
The only thing notable about Kansas City.
The only thing notable, because what was happening on the field, there was nothing interesting on the field.
Yeah, it was kind of boring. Anywho, next team.
All right, next team. Kansas does have Texas this week. That's going to be tough. We were talking about that beforehand.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Mizzou. They had a big win against Kansas State, winning off the Harrison Mevis. Oh, I thought he may have been in last year's draft as a kicker. Not that I evaluate kickers, but at least take notice. He had a 61-yarder to win that game. Who did they beat this past weekend? Oh yeah, it was Memphis. That's a solid Memphis squad.
They were 3-0 too. They're undefeated.
Yeah. That's Memphis stayed around in that game. Like Missouri was able to I think get like a 2-score lead and then basically won it from there on out. But Memphis is a good squad. Mizzou, I think, has one of the better defenses in the SEC. Javon Foster's playing his mind out. Luther Burden.
Again?
Javon Foster. Mr. What is he, 6 years in college now?
Yeah, I think he's a 6 year. And I'm like, let's go.
Dude, Luther Burden, dude, is a legit burden to defenses. That's going to be a guy that's going to go high in the 2025 draft. So, Mizzou, watch out.
Yeah. Missouri always has all these players I love, like Tyron Hopper, Sam McGuire, Chris Abrams-Strain. Yep. Javon Foster. I mean, hell, there's an unlimited number of dudes that I love on Missouri. They need to start paying me. But next team, I'm going to go after Ole Miss.
Here's your 300.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, give me my money. I'm going to go Ole Miss.
Hey.
They just need to. They got punched in the mouth, so it's finally time for them to bounce back. Lane Kiffin.
How many times? Stinking Alabama. All their tough games are at home.
Yeah,
Alabama and their cupcake schedule.
Yeah, I will say Lane Kiffin and Jimbo kind of need to get this legitimate treatment of them not being special at all. They're like good recruiters at this point. I mean, Jimbo hasn't done jack
too.
Huh?
Yeah, in the transfer portal.
And transfer portal, yeah, exactly. Recruiting, transfer portal, yeah. And they're not doing anything with it. They're genuinely not competing at the level that they need to justify what they've done. So genuinely, I think that they should be on the hot seat. Don't know why they aren't on a legitimate burning hot seat, but it is what it is.
I mean, dude, yeah, at basically the end of the game, they get the ball. They're down 24-10. They get the ball with 8:15 left, and they basically drain the clock to about 6 minutes on a long drive that kind of ends on a bad Jackson Dart miss in the end zone. But dude, I told you this prior, man. You had jet sweeps that resulted in negative yardage. Why are you getting fancy? Man? Just have your boy throw the football, especially with how fierce Alabama's pass rush. Chris Braswell and Dallas Turner were eating that game. Golly. Oh, well, talking about Jackson Dart, I guess I got to talk about another quarterback that I really like. Where are you at? Here we go. We got Oregon State. Tough loss, man. They came they almost completed the comeback.
Yep.
And to be fair, DJU, he may have been inaccurate with the football. I don't think he was careless. This guy wasn't putting it in harm's way. I think his one pick was he got hit as he threw the football, but he was able to lead that comeback. I think they were down 21 opening in the fourth quarter, brought it back to 35-38, unable to get the onside kick. Kind of is what it is. This is a really good Oregon State team. I think they have the best defense in the Pac-12, and when they can slow a game down and have you play at their tempo like they did in the second half against Washington State, they're a tough team to beat. There's going to be better games ahead for Oregon State.
Oregon State was my next best team as well, but after them is going to be Texas A&M because of the fact they beat Bama. Talented dudes everywhere, just Jimbo standing in the middle of the field. It's all built for success until Jimbo goes back to the sideline and coaches.
They basically just handled Auburn this week with no problem. Wigman, isn't he hurt?
Yep, I think so. But honestly, the amount of talent they have on this, is Max Johnson still there?
He is. He's the backup.
Yeah.
He came in and had a solid game.
Yeah, I love Max Johnson. I think I had Texas A&M last year as like a top school.
Yeah, no, we've been fooled for the last couple of years by Texas A&M.
Yeah, I had Texas A&M as my number 5 team last year.
Jeez.
Yeah, because I believe in Max Johnson.
I probably had them in the top 15. I'm fairly positive.
I think you did. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna end this with a group of 5s team. Where are you at? Tulane.
Really?
When Michael Pratt is healthy, this team is tough. They contended against Ole Miss without Michael Pratt. There's some solid talent at that school. This defense ain't half bad. Michael Pratt, when healthy this season, has been unfreaking stoppable. He's had a knee issue the past couple of weeks, and he got kind of banged up in this past week against some nobody. It was some cupcake school. I think they're like FCS, but got banged up. He said it's A-okay. Like, if he can remain healthy, like, I think this is going to be Ole Miss is going to be the only loss the squad has. Like, they're flipping good.
Yeah.
They're flipping good. And I am very adamant about not taking them out of my top 25 until they lose again. Because I didn't anticipate them beating Ole Miss. I didn't anticipate them playing Ole Miss as close as they did without Michael Pratt, their best player. But
that's fair.
I'm just saying, man. If I had to pick a group of 5 school, because we don't include Notre Dame, they're basically a Power 5. It's Tulane. I think they're the best squad outside of the Power 5. That's not Notre Dame.
That's fair. I mean, they are 3-1 with 1 loss to Ole Miss. There you go.
Yeah. It was.
Now they're starting QB.
It was a toughie.
Do they play SMU this year?
I think SMU, because SMU has a very favorable conference schedule this year.
I was really wanting to see him in person.
Yeah, because I think that was a big thing why I had SMU is like, I didn't going into the year. I think they were just outside of my top 25 just because I was like, their conference schedule it's kind of cheeks.
Yeah,
like even their tough games, I think they have
Charlotte this
week. Charlotte, they stayed in the game against Florida. Is that no UAB's Trent Dilfer? I was thinking it may have been Charlotte. Got my green schools mixed up. Any other teams you think maybe on the verge here?
Let's see. Colorado, obviously, they got absolutely mollywopped, but of course, I have that by my number 5 team, extremely superior.
It's just it's
we haven't seen
USC this week.
Yeah, that's the tough part. But also Prime. I mean, apart from the fact they'll go 2 losses, the question is, can they rebound for the rest of the year? I don't know. We haven't seen Prime Time, have to deal with legitimate loss. So it's intriguing to see how he's going to respond. Yeah.
Well, I mean, like, if you go back to like Jackson State, because they never won a Celebration Bowl. Like they always they lost back-to-back Celebration Bowls. But like he was able to rebound after that first loss, carry that team to I think another undefeated season until they got back there again and then lost once again. So I think that he's going to bounce back. This USC game is going to be important.
Yeah.
Like, just can they show some sort of offense? Like everyone was talking like this isn't going to be something that changes overnight. But man, a lot of people really liked seeing them win. But man, Oregon was a buzzsaw. It really was. Having to go into Eugene. Yeah, and I just don't.
It's not easy. Yeah. And that game was lit up. Like there was a lot of tempers flaring in that game.
Oh yeah, dude. If I was Shedeur, dude, I'd be ticked, man. Can't get a block to save my life.
Yeah. Well, not many people can when you go up against Oregon's front, but
but I think he was the most sacked quarterback in the FBS coming into that game.
Yeah, and then it just got even worse.
Yeah. I could probably shout out Kentucky.
Yeah,
they're 4-0. They're getting good wins. They're not always the most pretty. Like Devin Leary has been a little I don't want to say careless. Careless is the right word, though. A little careless sometimes with the football, but they've been able to hit big plays. Ray Davis is a nice running back there. And they got good players on that defense, so they might make some noise in the SEC. I still kind of see them as maybe a 7 or 8 win team, but watch out for Kentucky.
Yeah, they're a good team. Good team, led by a veteran quarterback.
Yeah, very.
So that's going to be the video.
That's going to be the video. That's it. This is the top 25. If you hate it, you're wrong.
Bye. See you next week. Fuck yourself.
Yeah, right. But
to get the fuck out.
Yeah, right. But hey, go ahead, hit that thumbs up, share the video, and let us know what you think in the comment section below. Let us know where we got it wrong or where we got it right. Nice comments are allowed as well. Sometimes even preferred.
Yeah.
But hey, go ahead, end the video for us, man.
All right. Well, thank y'all for watching. You guys always support us, the small community of you. We're going to get back on track and get videos rolling. Thank y'all so much for watching. Take it easy now. Later.